You are watching On Demand. Please do not try to vote or enter any competition or other interactivity in this programme, as it may not count and you may still be charged.
Today on your Loose Women Live, it's Christine Lampard, Brenda Edwards, Linda Robson, and Denise Welsh.
Welcome to your first Loose Women of the Week. We've got a very busy show for you coming up today. Would you confront someone who wronged you? Well, Denise did just that. She'll be telling us why and what happened a little later on in the show. Also, he famously danced with Princess Diana at the Royal Opera House for Prince Charles's birthday, and almost 40 years later, Wayne Sleep is heading back to celebrate his own birthday. He'll be here later to tell us all about that. And speaking of dancing, it's said to help with anxiety and general well-being. We'll be putting our dancing skills to the test and trying it out for ourselves. I think some of us might be better than others, to be fair, because I'm useless. Anyway, now, award-winning actress Dame Sheila Hancock is said to be heartbroken after losing a very sentimental gold chain. The necklace had both her parents' wedding rings and her 2 wedding rings from her marriages on it. So for someone who is very sentimental, Brenda, I mean, you'd be devastated if that. You can only feel for her there, because that's a lot of life on one necklace, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, I have one necklace, and the cross was my mum's cross that she was wearing when she died, and the chain, the blue chain bit, is for Jamal that I had commissioned when he died, and then there's my 2 rings that the children bought me for Mother's Day and for my birthday that I just don't take off. So I'm totally a sentimental person, and I kind of feel a little connection, and sometimes you might see me sitting here and I'm feeling it and rubbing it, because
it's a comfort.
To me it is a comfort, and I feel connected to them in some way. So yeah, I totally get it.
And you'd be very panicky if you're travelling or doing anything. You'd be very aware.
I have to take my chain off when I'm doing my shows, but as soon as I'm finished, my dresser that's helping me, she puts it right back on, and then I'm like,
yeah,
I do feel like something's missing. Yeah,
because you do, particularly if it meant something to someone that you've loved. Yeah, you can't help if it's a little part of them with you. That's what sentiment is to me, really.
It is, yeah. I'm very sentimental. So I've got a bracelet that my son bought me, and on the bracelet it's got Lila and Betsy, obviously my grandchildren. Then it's got 60 and 50. So it was 50 years in showbiz when I was 60. And then this one's got their birth dates, all of their birth dates on there. And if I lost this, I'd be devastated, absolutely devastated. I've also got a necklace with Lila and Betsy on it. I'm a bit obsessed, obviously, with grandchildren.
You're allowed
but I've kept everything there. Umbilical cord, you know, the little thing that's there, their teeth, their hair, their everything. I've got little boxes with everything in it, so I don't throw anything away.
Do you think they're ever going to go, Nan, can we look at the old umbilical cord that we have?
Well, I've got it there ready for them. That's true. Sheila should pray to St Anthony, because St Anthony helps you find everything. You've heard about St Anthony?
St Anthony, yes. It's a very, very
I lose
Irishy
something,
thing,
I pray to him and I always get it back.
Really?
That's all she's got to do. Pray to St Anthony, Sheila, and you'll get your necklace back, love.
And what do you say?
You say, please help me find my necklace. It's really sentimental and I need to get it back because I can't go anywhere without it. I did lose my wedding ring, but maybe that was a sign. Thank you, Denise.
In my mind, I am a very sentimental person. I cry at the drop of a hat. I'm a very emotional person. But I just lose things all the time. Or I do clear-outs and forget that I've got the kids' school reports in there that, yes, I would love to keep, but then they're gone. They were in this puffy thing we had with a lid, and it's just gone from the house. A puffy thief has come along and taken the puffy, and I don't know where it is. So in my mind, I'm sentimental, but I'm not, you know,
that's why I've said to becoming sentimental almost.
In a way.
You get attached to things.
And if I have anything expensive on, I sort of treat it with the same lack of respect as I do costume jewellery. I'm just not very good at keeping things, so I just try not to have. But, of course, I've got a grandchild now, so what's the bet? I'll have the umbilical cord, the tooth, the hair, everything, you know, probably.
There's a hint of a hoarder in me naturally anyway, so I can attach sentiment to absolutely everything. But I keep, like, my children's little curls that I trimmed their hair first. It's all gone into a little box. I've got the umbilical cord there, got all of those business. I mean, it's not much to look at after 4 years, to be fair. Never mind when they're 30.
What are you going to do with these sort of umbilical cord things?
You could have them, you could have them dipped in silver or something and wear it
on a chain. It's like I had Matthew in a very, very trendy London hospital many, many years ago, because I was going NHS and it was a disaster where I was going. So I did go privately, and it was a very trendy right-on natural birth hospital. And as I sort of gave birth after a long labour, they went, "Would you like to keep the placenta, Mrs. Healy?" As I was at the time, and Tim went, "No, we'll just take the bairn, thanks."
But when you think about sentimental things, it's made me think of, like, Colleen. She's got that sentimental tattoo that she's got of the teapot, and her kids have got all the teacups. So if you're bad at losing things, then maybe a tattoo.
I don't like tattoos.
Never
I could have
come
one
off.
in a little hidden place, couldn't I, somewhere?
Yeah. My mum's very sentimental. Every single TV programme I've ever done, there's a few after all these years, has been taped. And I'm
the same as
my
dad.
old-fashioned
everything.
VHS. My poor mum, it's like a back catalogue of my life in a cupboard. And my poor mum and dad have everything. Press, pause, record, into the video.
There was things that I didn't
like
even know that my dad had even been on their radar. And when he died and we went to the, to the house to sort of that horrible clearing it out thing, oh, my God, it was every review from when I was at drama school, all laminated.
You see, that's when it means something. We're giggling about
I've lost them, but anyway.
Well, in 10 seconds worth, it hit the heart.
If I ever had a tattoo, it'd be no entry on my bottom.
Conversation took a turn, didn't it?
I'm unhearing that. I want to unhear all of that.
It's not sentimental.
No, but it's private.
Oh, dear. Can always rely on Linda, can't you, folks? Always. So,
Am I in trouble now?
No, you're not. It could have been way worse.
Oh, my God.
No, actor Stanley Tucci has revealed that he had doubts initially about dating his now wife, Felicity Blunt. He even tried to break up with her numerous times because of their 21-year age gap. It's an interesting one. I've met both of them together. They're a lovely couple. I never once thought about an age gap because they just are a happy, lovely couple. Was it something you thought about, Denise, when you met Lincoln? Were you... Because there's... Well, it's
it's nearly 15 years.
15,
yeah. We never really think about it. Lincoln was always into older women. Which is why we are going to start Only Nans, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
And there is a great
tattoo. It's all linked together, isn't it?
It's all linked together into the Only Nans franchise. And so, no, we never think about it. There are occasionally things that I am aware of that Lincoln is only 50, so, but he's quite an old soul. I mean, on this show, at one point, nearly everybody, Carol McGiffin's 22 years older than Mark, and they're really, really happy. I never judge anybody within reason on an age gap. I've got friends who say, like my gay friend, his kids, his two kids said to him, they're just not allowed to be younger than us, Dad, But I never judge anybody. It depends what makes you happy. Yeah. So I love my husband very much, and I didn't set out to sort of go for somebody younger. It's just what happened in that nightclub that night.
But it's not always just about age, of course. It can be other things that people can be judgmental on, of course, can't it be? And on things that you might have a list when it comes to a relationship.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's always spoken about my list, and I know a lot of the women have said, you've got a list. It's not a list, it's just things that, as Denise is saying, things that will probably make you happy. The age thing is a thing. My children have said, don't bring anybody home who's our age, or I try to not go 10 years either way. I say try, I've never gone 10 years further. And things like, you know, my list is to make me happy and have a great sense of humour, have a job, you know, because I work so hard.
Is important.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I work so hard, and it's nice to, you know, have somebody that works so hard as well that you can just come back and unwind with.
Maybe just something that they're passionate about, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
Ideally.
Yeah, absolutely. But not judgmental as such.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been sort of judged because of what my husband did for a living, like when we first got together, like 33 years ago. So I was in a high-profile sort of job, earning quite a lot of money, and he was a window cleaner. And we went to a West End show, and this, like, quite snooty West End star, I won't say the name, said, oh, hi, who's this? I went, oh, that's my husband. So she went, and what does he do? So I said, oh, he's a window cleaner. She went, oh. Oh. She was like, she didn't know what to say, so I've changed it from window cleaner to glazing hygienist now. Yeah.
I like that. But I mean, again, just talking about Stanley Tucci, I couldn't care less about an age
What's
gap.
their age gap?
Or 21 years.
So a bit like
21. So it's like
Carol's, a bit more like Carol's.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's younger than him.
She's
though.
younger.
She is.
Yes, exactly. And so they're way, of course, there. But I just, when you see a couple that are happy, I couldn't care less what they do as a job, what, you know, age gap it is. If there's contentment there and happiness, that's all anyone asks for.
I think it's definitely judgment from other people.
Yeah.
I mean, when I met Lincoln, he's now a very successful artist, thankfully, but he was working at Stringfellows, and we got judged massively by people because of that. They were all saying, you know, he's in adult entertainment. It's like, well, he's not really in that sort of respect. But to me, it's like you say, I want somebody to have their own thing going on. It doesn't matter what their job is. My mum was maybe a little bit more judgmental. I went out with one guy who was very rich. All my boyfriends were always really poor. And I went out with one guy that was very rich. And I was telling Mum how I didn't like him, and his family in America were being really snobby about me and everything, but that he had this amazing house with pool and servants. And my mum was going, well, you could give it a try.
He did it, obviously. There you go. Still to come, after a Taylor Swift fan went viral for pulling a sickie in style, we're asking, should you get the sack for calling in sick if you're not ill at all? And Denise will be talking about the emotional moment she had when she came face to face with the man who wronged her. We'll see you with all of that after this. Welcome back. Still to come, the original Mr. Mistopheles and ballet legend Wayne Sleep will be revealing his big party plans ahead of his 75th birthday later this month. And I hope I brought your tutus with us, ladies, have we? Because I've been told there's a dance class coming up. Oh dear. And with summer in full swing, we'll be testing our taste buds and cooling down with some interesting ice cream flavours. I know, interesting. That could go either way, couldn't it? First, though, competition time, and we're giving away a life-changing £250,000. It's a lot of money. Gokwan is here with all the details.
Hi guys, and greetings from Palma de Mallorca. This place is absolutely incredible. If you're after blue skies and gorgeous seas and super yachts and beautiful people, then you know where to come. And I'm here to tell you all about one of our biggest competitions this year, a chance for you to win £250,000 in tax-free money. Now, if you're wondering what it feels like to win that amount of money, check this out.
Congratulations, you actually won £250,000. You're joking, aren't you?
I'm not joking whatsoever.
I'm stunned. Thank you. I still can't quite believe it. Thank you. Still in a bit of disbelief, but yes, that's it.
That's right. This is your chance to win £250,000 in tax-free money. It's truly life-changing. But what would you do with it? Would you buy yourself a luxury car? It doesn't matter. It's your money. You can do whatever you want with it. But there is one caveat. Lines close this Friday at 4 p.m. So what are you waiting for? Get involved, people.
For another chance to win, text cash to 82248. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website, entries cost £2. Call 09068 782248. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to Cash 27, PO Box 7558, Derby DE1 0NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on Friday the 7th of July. Good luck.
Now, if you were given the opportunity, would you confront someone who hurt or wronged you in some way? Would it give you some sense of closure? Well, the reason we're talking about this today is because, Denise, this has just happened to you, and you've had this extraordinary moment that's taken you back to a time in your life, which I suppose it's just... It's a difficult one to try and process,
yeah, it's quite
actually.
I mean, triggering is a sort of very commonly perhaps overused word, but it's quite appropriate in this case. So many years ago, like a lot of people in our position, you know, on or off the telly, I was hacked by a tabloid newspaper group over a period of 7 years. And of course, at the time, none of us knew that that was happening. So it became a period of time where I didn't trust anybody. I spoke out recently because my name was brought up in the recent batch of high-profile cases, including Prince Harry, because the guy that hacked me, Graham Johnson, was a sort of poacher-turned-gamekeeper. He became a whistle-blower and blew the lid off. So my name was mentioned as the Denise Welch incident during the Prince Harry hacking case. And so ITN reached out to me and asked me to do an interview last week. And they also suggested, which was completely up to me, would I be prepared to meet the man who hacked me? And I thought about it, and I spoke to my family about it, and I decided I would. I'd had the chance many years ago at a thing that Hugh Grant and Steve Coogan had, for those of us involved in it then, whereby I could have met him. And I knew he wanted to say hello, and I chose not to. I was too raw by the whole thing. And so I've been asked if I got closure from it. I was pleased with the opportunity to say I appreciate his accountability, because what has happened over the years is that the people at the top, the people who told these people to hack phones,
it wasn't just your phone either.
To put hearing devices were put into my hotel bedrooms on more than one, listening devices on more than one occasion. So although I've been very open about the fact that I had alcohol problems, I had drug problems, I also had 2 children, one of which was 12 at the time, Matty, and Louis was a babe in arms. And if my life had been as out of control as it looked like, I wouldn't have been able to raise 2 children. So to sit with this guy, after doing an interview with Rebecca Barry, who's been in the High Court for 7 weeks and heard some of the tales, you know, it's the fact that, did I do things that were not good? Yeah, of course I did. And I've always said, if you're doing something in a nightclub with someone that you shouldn't be with and the paps get a picture of you, fair cop.
Yeah.
But all of the stuff that was out there about me was gained by illegal means. And when you've got to say to your 12-year-old child, you know, there's going to be a story tomorrow which is going to really affect your life about mum, you know. And I didn't trust anybody for years because they always knew where I was. I blamed people I was working with because things were heard, discussions were heard in a hotel room, you know. And I had a target on my back, and even paparazzi, you know, have told me that we were told to get you at all costs, because even if you came out of a restaurant completely sober, the photo of you with your eyes closed was the one that we would use, because people believed that you were like that. And I was on the front of magazines in Marriage Hell, Drink Hell, Drugs Hell, every single week that my kids had to see. And the fact is, it was nearly all gained by illegal means. So sitting down with this guy, I did get the chance to thank him. It took an hour. It was only on for a few minutes. But him actually describing, him being told that they suspected that I was doing something with somebody or involved with somebody, which I wasn't, and at this time. And he said, well, how do you know that? And they said, because we've been hacking her for months. and he hacked my phone up to 30 times over a 7-day period. He was told to stake out my hotel room. Like I say, there was then bugs put in hotel room with private investigators, and that's just little old me. So it's just, I was very happy to speak out about it because it's devastated lives and families and changed it. I wouldn't want to be anywhere that I am now in my life, and I'm thrilled that I am there. But it's been very painful. So I feel better for having heard it from the horse's mouth. I understand that he wasn't trying to have pity for himself, that he had a family to feed, and he was told that everybody was hacking. So go and hack, otherwise you'll lose your job. It's made me more angry that the people who are the editors and the deputy editors of these newspapers run on fear are still being protected. Like, I'm not allowed to say certain things today because of the lawyers. And they're still being protected. Graham got a suspended sentence. But I'm just grateful that he spoke openly to me about it. And I do believe in restorative justice. I don't know how I'd feel if something happened involving one of my children, but I think sometimes when somebody's been the victim of a burglary and they maybe get the opportunity to meet, say, a young offender, and the young offender can see how that's impacted on your life rather than just feeding his addiction, or, you know, I think sometimes it can work. So in this case, I am grateful, but it has made me more angry in some ways to still see those people take accountability.
I think as well, when you meet with someone that you feel wronged by, you have to be in the right place to meet them. And I think it's like the restorative justice type thing. A lot of victims of crime don't want to meet the offender because they're just not strong enough to do so. And for a long time, you probably weren't, like the first time.
I didn't. I got a chance, you know, in 2014 he wanted to say hello at this event we were at, and I just wasn't ready. I was too angry. So, but I am glad that I took the opportunity to, and I'm grateful that he can help so many other cases now by becoming a whistleblower and pointing out the corruption and how it affected so many lives.
And you feel it is a bit of a chapter closed in many respects, Denise. Thank you very much, Denise. I know there's a lot of emotion involved when you talk about the children. It's going to get you every time, isn't it? Still to come, have you ever pulled a sickie to avoid work after one Taylor Swift fan went viral for attending the singer's gig in disguise? We'll be revealing some of our own excuses. And he famously taught and danced with Princess Diana. But what will he make of the four of us as students? Ballet legend Wayne Sleep will be putting us through our paces when he joins us after the break. We'll see you in a bit.
Tomorrow, Emmerdale's Tracy Amy Walsh joins Loose Women for an exclusive chat as she gets ready to return to the village. She'll tell us how she's preparing for her on- and off-screen wedding. Will it all be plain sailing, or will tragedy strike in true soap style? Amy Walsh, tomorrow from 12:30.
Welcome back to your Monday Loose Women Live, keeping you company for the next half hour with me, Christine Lampard. It's Linda Robson, Denise Welsh and Brenda Edwards. Still to come, could you dance yourself happier? As GPs prescribe dance classes to help with anxiety, we'll be discussing the health benefits of keeping fit and testing out some moves ourselves. And we're going to be testing our taste buds later with some rather interesting ice cream flavours. We've got to guess what they are, which means they're horrible. Just putting it out there. Anyway, a Taylor Swift fan has been dubbed an instant icon after attending the singer's gig in disguise so her bosses wouldn't realise she'd taken the night off.
So, can you tell me what Taylor Swift means to you? She must mean a lot to you because you're here and you've called in sick.
That is very true. I almost named my daughter's middle name Taylor, so...
Oh my goodness. I love it. And we're going to cross our fingers that work doesn't find out, right?
No, they're not. We're good.
Your secret's safe with me.
Oh, how funny would that have been if they dubbed her voice as well?
Oh my God,
Just
hilarious.
comedy
Could she
effect.
actually see through the blanket?
she must have come up with something.
That's to cut a little thing in the blanket.
I mean, it's absolute dedication, that, isn't it? That is classic pulling a sickie. Would you do that?
Yes. I have pulled sickies before, and I think everybody's fibbing if they say that they haven't. But I also have a fear of letting people down as well. So there is pulling a sickie and there's pulling a sickie. I've never pulled a sickie to get out of a show, for example, you know, or if you're in the West End like Brenda is now, you're not going to pull a sickie to do that. But if one of my friends, I don't know, works in an office and there has not been allowed to go to a christening or a wedding, would I support them in pulling a sickie? Of course.
Yeah.
I just, I'm not very good at telling the fib. You know, Lincoln will just say to someone, I'm really sorry, but I'm not gonna come because I'm tired. I go, yeah, the thing is, my whole family have been wiped out in a massive aircraft disaster, and, you know, and I've got to fly to India immediately to sort out the aftermath of what's happened. And it's like, what are you doing? Because now I've got to go to India. It's crazy. But,
it's like my mum always says, it takes a liar to have a good memory, and that's the problem, isn't it? So
it
is. Say that
but we have to be careful on this show, because we have to make sure people aren't with people they shouldn't be with in case the camera turns round as well.
But as you say,
all over the
Chrissy,
place.
that's the same thing like Crying Wolf. There's that story of Crying Wolf. If you keep saying you're sick, and then when you are actually sick, it won't work for you. But I, you know, my children, when they were working, they were like, Mummy, I don't feel well. Could you phone up my boss? And I'm like, no, I'm not, because obviously if you're speaking to somebody else and the mother I'm phoning on behalf of, then it's... But I'm like, if you want to call the sickie, you call the sickie.
Yeah, own it. You got to own it.
You got to own it. I mean, I always feel guilty if I'm sick, and so I go into work. Look, when I broke my ankle in 3 places, and I still came here in crutches and a mobility because I wanted to just be here. Yeah. So, you know, it's I couldn't do it.
I can imagine if one of the grandchildren, or indeed your children, came to Nanny Lind and went, I want a day off school, they'd get a definite yes.
I have pulled sickies when it's a like Christmas play or whatever, or the summer fair or whatever. So yeah,
you
I'm
have
happy
called
to
in sick to go to their...
And the thing is, you used to be able to do it, but now with social media, it's nearly impossible.
They always know where you are.
Yeah.
I know, you would never have called in sick to Loose Women.
Few times. Only if it's something to do with my grandchildren, then I will. Not my kids or anything, but my grandchildren. I've got to be there for everything they ever do.
That's the point, though, as well. I think, it's always grandchildren. That's the point, though. I think if you've got a relationship with your boss, and say you're that person there at the Taylor Swift gig, and you've got a good relationship with your boss, you'd love to be able to say to them, this is a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Yeah. I've nearly called my child Taylor. I love this girl. Please, can I have the day off? And if you got a no from your boss, that's pretty bad, isn't it? Maybe it's just to do with the
thing is, she's become so famous, she's going to be torn whether to stay incognito or go, it's fine.
The big reveal, OK, our guest today is a phenomenon in the dance world with over 5 decades of experience. He is a celebrated and accomplished Royal Ballet dancer, choreographer, TV star and all-round national treasure. I hear him in the background going, oh, yes. Please welcome the brilliant Wayne Sleep.
Thank you.
Oh, it's so good to see you.
I heard all that. How can I follow that?
Oh, you can, because it's you.
Well,
so, Wayne, big
lovely
birthday.
to see you.
Lovely to see you.
Big birthday coming up. And you don't just do any old birthday, do you? You do it at the Royal Opera House.
Well, I was very lucky. I'm 75 on July the 17th. And I was approached and they said, would you like to have the Opera House for an audience with on the day? In the smaller theatre downstairs, it only seats 600. And then we go upstairs to the Crush Bar of the posh bit.
Fantastic.
And we have lunch, and 100 of my friends come with me.
Lovely.
Then we have tea overlooking the piazza, and then off to the Groucho's Club for some imbibement. But it's an audience with which is... Alan Titchmarsh is going to be interviewing me. I'm so lucky. And it's about my life, my career. And it starts at the beginning and the do's and don'ts, and then I didn't grow, and how to change negative into a positive, and for kids to learn that don't take no for an answer and don't be bullied. There's a lot of that in it.
Because you were, I think, the smallest height-wise dancer ever to work with the Royal Ballet.
Yes. Well, you have to be about 5'9" to get in.
Do you?
And what are you?
5'2" and shrinking.
We do shrink as we get older.
You've shrunk, you Toby, just
I have
now.
shrunk, I know.
Yes,
yeah.
I think I'm
We need booster seats, don't we?
We need the lot, darling. I need to be on the London Eye and don't let it go round. But, yes, and so when I was 12, I won a scholarship out of 200 kids to the Royal Ballet School. I was at the West Hartlepool Tech as hooker in the scrum of the rugby team, and I couldn't do my rugby on the Saturday morning because I had a free ballet class. And when I was 12, we went along with 200 other kids, hopefuls, and they only give 2 scholarships. I went from the West Hartlepool Tech to Queen Victoria's Hunting Lodge in Richmond Park when I was 12. I didn't even know what I was doing there, basically. I'd never seen a ballet. But then the first ballet I ever saw was a month later, and it was Fontaine and Nureyev in Giselle. So
oh my God!
That sort of got me a bit hooked.
And you were, of course, the influence, if that's the right word, for Lee Hall when writing my favourite musical ever, Billy Elliot.
Yes. I get 3 mentions. That was to keep me quiet because a lot of it's about my life. But I lived in Hartlepool, and that's County Durham. My father was working in the docks, but I was a one-parent family as well. He had his father, I had my mum. And the letter arriving on the morning when he's got it absolutely worked for well what happened to me. My mother left it for me to open, and then the tears and all that sort of thing. And I left home when I was 12, you see. But being 5'2", getting back to that, you know, being the smallest boy, I was going to take hormones. You can. A lot of footballs do now, and dancers. But in my day, it wasn't perfected, and you could outgrow your strength and go to 6'4" and you'd be too tall. But she said, the Valois, who founded the Royal Ballet, said, "What's this I hear you taking about hormones?" Well, I was desperate. I trained for 8 years.
Yeah.
Have we got time for another little bit of this?
Go on. Yeah.
All right. Sorry, dear. But what happened was, when I did the audition, there were 7 of us left by the evening, 4:30 out of 250. And they said, tomorrow you will take your son to Great Ormond Street Hospital to have his wrist x-rayed to see how tall you'll potentially grow, because it's the most developed part of your body. We were lower working class. We couldn't afford to stay the night in a hotel. So my mother said, no, and he's got school in the morning back in Hartlepool. 8 hours it took in those days. And if I'd had the money to stay in a hotel, I'd have had my wrist x-rayed and I probably wouldn't even be sitting here now.
Right.
Because it was fate that got me in, because if they'd x-rayed my wrist, no way did they want a small chap, because they need tall boys to partner the girls, and the girls are another 6 inches taller when they're on point.
Yeah.
And if they've got big feet, it's quite...
But wait, you used that to your advantage because you spun faster, you jumped higher, and you used that
That's
to
what
get
I was
the job.
told I had to do. And, yes, it got me in, you know. But every role I did, I had to make mine in a way. I had to get... If somebody else got 2 curtain calls for it, if I didn't get 3, they'd say, well, why is he here? We could get somebody taller.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I was always having to prove myself. And I did feel like an outsider, really, because there were a lot of things. I mean, if you've got 8 men in a row and it goes down in the middle, it turns into a comic number, really, doesn't it? So there were lots of things I couldn't do. But then I was able to go and learn jazz, tap and contemporary. And so when Andrew Lloyd Webber said, would you like to create Mr. Mistopheles, I was sort of halfway there.
Yeah, and it was there. But it led then to this most extraordinary career, Wayne, and meeting incredible people. Freddie Mercury, we know, was a good friend of yours. Yeah. Princess Diana, of course, we have spoken about this before.
Yeah.
I mean, you taught her to dance and then danced with her on stage. Yeah. I know it's been in The Crown. That's how iconic that dance was with her. An extraordinary experience.
Do you think she would have enjoyed The Crown as a series?
Well, she would have enjoyed the fact that I think she was probably better. No, I tell you something. The Crown did it very, very well for what it was. They didn't have a very big stage. It was very small. And with all the information they had, I thought they did really very, very well. There's just a few things that weren't quite the same. We did more of a stylish movement rather than hip-hop, but that's how it is today.
I love the fact you're still critiquing it.
Yeah.
Well, I can't help
She said she was that you bonded because you were both loners, you know, and I think a lot of people find it surprising, either in our industry, particularly in the royal family, that people could be a loner when you are surrounded by so many people and so much noise.
Yes. We didn't fit. I don't think she felt she fitted in quite.
No.
And I didn't really because of my height. And then I got leave of absence, and I was away more than I was back with the ballet. But she wrote to me on the night. I've just found these days. I've got a book coming out in spring. A bit early to advertise, dear, isn't it? But and I've been doing research, and I've just found a letter from her that she sent to me on the night of our performance.
Oh, really?
Wayne,
she said I couldn't
stop you there because we're on a break. Can you keep that?
Oh,
We're doing
okay.
the spoilers because we'll hear the
Shall
end.
I do
of
the
that.
break as well?
You absolutely can. Wayne, it's all yours.
Voiceovers.
No, Wayne is going to be sticking around with us because you're going to be finishing that story and teaching us some famous dance moves. Are we?
Oh,
allowed
yes,
to
you
say
will
that?
be going through.
Oh, dearie me. It's supposed to be very good for your health as well. So we'll see you with all of that after this. Welcome back. Wayne is still with us. I had to stop you just before the break, but you have to finish that story about Princess Diana.
Well, on the night when we performed at Covent Garden, she sent me a letter, said, I can't sleep until I send you a message and thanks. But what she said at the end was, now I understand the buzz you get from performing live to an audience of 3,000. And I realised then, even though she'd done her exams and she'd done ballet lessons, she'd never performed it. And she got her...
and that was it. That was that little
That was
moment.
it. And it beat the media as well. They never found out, else we wouldn't have been able to do it all.
Of course, there was no element of surprise at all. Well, this is our moment, Wayne. Well, maybe not quite.
Well,
we are not standing by a bar for any old reason.
Well, you stand this way.
Yes.
And I'll just demonstrate here, because it's going to be demi and up, and forward and up.
Right.
And full... Hold on.
I've got bad knees.
So have I. I've got a hip replacement.
Go on.
Oh, come on. Right, ready? Right. Can we have music, please?
OK.
Ready? Arm, port bra. Shoulders down, heads up, tummies in, breathe. And demi, and up, and forward as far down as you can. And up. Now, if you can, all the way to the bottom. And all the way up. There we are. And rise and walk away.
Get out of the way!
May we ask you, Wayne? I can't believe that just happened. May we ask you to take it away, as they
Well,
say?
you can clap in time, but keep
We
it...
can do that.
A bit faster. Too fast. Ready, and... Don't clap. Ready, and... I'll sit on your knee. There we are.
So much, Wayne. You are an absolute superstar. And like we say, Monday, 17th of July, it's the big birthday, 12:30 p.m. at the Royal Opera House. Have a wonderful day. Wayne Sleep, ladies and gentlemen. Happy birthday.
Good. Potential.
Competition time again, and it's your chance to win an amazing £250,000. It could be yours. Gok is in Ibiza with all the details.
Hi guys, welcome to the wonderful coastal town of Daya in Mallorca. Check out these absolutely stunning views. There are trees absolutely everywhere. The water is crystal clear, the sky is deep blue. It is absolutely stunning here. Now, I'm not here for a holiday. I'm here to tell you all about our incredible competition, a chance for you to win £250,000, £250,000 in tax-free cash. That's like you receiving over £20,000 every single month for the whole year. But what would you spend that money on? Would you treat your friends and family? Would you buy a new car? Maybe you'd hire a beautiful Mallorcan villa like this one and spend the whole summer here. It's entirely up to you, but you're not going to know unless you enter. Now, it takes just one entry for your chance to win £250,000, but there is a caveat. Lines close this Friday at 4 p.m. So what are you waiting for? Here's your details.
For another chance to win, text cash to 82248. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website, entries cost £2. Call 09068 782248. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to Cash 27, PO Box 7558, Derby DE1 0NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on Friday the 7th of July. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Good night, ladies. After that dance lesson, can you believe Wayne Sleep, even albeit for 10 seconds, taught us a dance?
Oh, I know,
yeah.
it's unbelievable. I love Wayne. I could listen to him all day.
He's great, isn't he? Oh, wonderful. Anyway, after the dance lesson, we've got some ice cream to help cool you down. It's from a new ice cream parlour that has opened in London, but the flavours aren't exactly what you'd expect. They're all a little bit different. Now, we've got 4 to choose from, OK? I'm a bit fussy with my ice cream.
Is this like the jungle? Is there parts of animals in there?
There's no animal parts of dead insects, so I think we're OK that way, but it is unusual. It's not just your, you know, old school vanilla here, OK? So pick up number 1.
The pink one.
Right, pink. Have a sniff.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I know what that is.
I don't. I can't smell anything.
Can you not smell something? It's very distinctive.
I can smell something and it's making me feel a bit icky.
I can't smell anything. Can you, Linda?
No, nothing.
Right.
I can smell a little bit of something, and I'm going to look in a second to see what it is.
Honey.
It's like Gaviscon.
Tastes a bit like mild mustard.
Mild mustard?
Yeah. It's got like a bit of taste.
I wouldn't. I have no idea what it is. But
well,
it's not very
I'll
nice.
tell you what it is.
Or Daddy's sauce. I think it's Daddy's sauce, isn't it?
It's tomato ketchup.
Yeah. Why would you do that?
Tomato ketchup.
Ketchup.
Tomato ketchup ice cream, anybody?
Got that.
But why would you waste your
Absolutely
time
not.
opening this ice cream parlour?
3 more to go. You might fall in love. Right, number 2.
I can't smell anything.
Oh. No, I couldn't do this one.
Hang on, what?
It smells like
I'm not smelling.
foot.
Oh, I can smell something straight away.
Absolutely disgusting, that
Is
was.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, what is that?
Now, take away the idea of ice cream and just focus in on the flavour. You getting
It's
anything?
like socks.
That's what I said. It's like foot.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Branston pickle flavour.
Oh, God. Oh.
Oh, there's one nice one.
OK. Right, number 3. OK, go for this one. I'm getting a biscuity
I'm getting a
flavour.
biscuity.
Yeah, that's a biscuity sort of a smell, isn't
Oh,
it?
because you got the answers there.
No, I'm not looking.
Oh, that was all right.
It's like
Yeah,
a
that's quite
biscuity
nice.
thingy.
That's not bad, that
That's
is
quite
it?
nice.
That's OK. That's
What is
nice.
it?
That is digestive
Oh,
biscuit.
right. OK.
Well, that makes sense.
That's a bit more normal, isn't it? And OK, number 4, and I have just glanced at what it is.
This smells of Horlicks, like Ovaltine, kind of.
Have a go.
No.
If you think you're hard enough.
Quite like that.
Marmite or something.
I quite like it.
Oh, do you? You like that one, Linda?
Number 4, I ain't tasted it yet. I like that one.
You like that? Well, I'm
Yeah.
very, very intrigued by that.
What is it?
That is soy sauce flavour.
Oh,
that's horrible.
Marmite.
Now, you see, no, that's just because I influenced
No, that was
you.
horrible.
There you go.
To be honest, who sat round a table and thought that that would be a good idea?
Well, that's the kind of show it is. That's it for today. Tomorrow, Emmerdale's Tracy Metcalf actress Amy Walsh joins us as she prepares to head back to the Dales. Have a great day. See you soon. Bye-bye.